Welcome to the Surviving to Thriving podcast, where we're dedicated to helping you break free from chronic inflammation and get your life back. I'm Dr. Rachel Yeager, naturopathic doctor and medical intuitive, and the founder of the Surviving to Thriving method of chronic illness recovery. Join me as we uncover strategies for overcoming health challenges and restoring your physical, mental, emotional, and soul health. Together, let's embark on a journey to thriving. Hi, everyone. Doing something a little different today. I'm going to give you some insight into some of the meditations that I do with my clients. Today's meditation is going to be a nature meditation. So it's simple, it's calm, it's grounding. It can help us feel more connected and grounded with nature, even when we don't feel well enough to physically go out in nature. A big part of healing is regulating your nervous system. Anything that helps you tune into your body and use peaceful imagery, different practices that help your body feel safe. All of this is really helpful in the long term in the big picture for healing. So find a comfortable spot and settle in, and I hope you enjoy. We'll start by doing our check-in. So if you want to close your eyes and check in or whatever feels good to check in. And I like to ask, is my heart beating fast? Is my breathing deep and coming naturally from my belly? Is my jaw relaxed? And just how do I feel mentally overall? And that's really good clues for what state I'm in. All right. And then we're going to keep doing the 3 things we're grateful for. We'll do a brainstorm minute of the things we're grateful for or what's working out well for us. So we're going to do a stress relief meditation where we basically take our stressors and the things that are bothering and worrying us, and we pass them off to nature. So we'll meditate in a nature surrounding, and then we'll let the nature take our worries and hold them with us. So you can do it in your head, or you can write down and journal and just make a list of your stressors and get them out of your head. And then make a list of anything that's worrying you. So like common concerns that people have are like health, financial, family tension, relationship stress, that kind of thing. So just write down everything that's bothering you or anything that's been keeping you awake or anything that's been like making your heart race. And then we'll use that when we do our meditation. Okay, so get comfortable. Put your back up against the back of your chair. Put your feet flat on the ground. And close your eyes. And take a deep, cleansing breath. As you exhale, let go of all the worries and stress that you're holding in your head and in your body. As you breathe in, relax your diaphragm, let your lungs fill completely, and let your belly fill with air. Let the air go all the way down into your belly. And as you exhale, release the tension from your body. You can wiggle around and let your muscles relax. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of a lush forest. The woods are vibrant green and alive with the soothing sounds of nature. Birds sing their melodies, and a gentle breeze rustles through the leaves, creating a calming symphony of sounds. You can feel the coolness of the forest air against your skin, washing away the heat of stress that's been accumulating within you. You stand and appreciate this cool forest breeze. You appreciate the greenery and the aliveness of nature all around you. You appreciate the songs of the birds and the rustling of the leaves. You start to walk through the forest, and the soil is soft and a very neutral, relaxing temperature underneath your feet. If your feet are bare, you can feel the soil touching the bottom of your feet and the softness of the soil. Now envision a serene river winding through the heart of the forest as you walk out of a clearing into the next thicket in the woods. The roaring of the river fills your ears, and the melodies of the birds and the rustling of the leaves become more distant as you focus on the rushing sound of the water. You look at the water and the sunlight sparkling off its surface, and you can see that the water is crystal clear, reflecting the deep blue of the sky and the vibrant green of the trees that line its banks. You walk closer to the river, up to the riverbank, and you notice that the river seems to glisten with a gentle, healing energy. You sit down by the river's edge and dip your fingers into the water. As your hand touches the cool liquid, you can feel the stress and tension from your body beginning to dissolve, just like ink bleeding away on a page. The river knows what you need, and it's here to help you. Close your eyes as you sit on the riverbank and breathe in the forest air around you. With each inhale, imagine breathing in this forest air, but also drawing in the pure healing energy of the river. As you exhale, release more and more of your accumulated stress and tension into the flowing water. Think about all of the stressors that you were able to list. Think about anything that's weighing on you and feeling heavy, anything that's been keeping you worried or anxious. And hold these things in your mind. And now walk back into the forest. So we're going to stand up from the riverbank and walk back toward the denseness of the trees, feeling the soil underneath our feet. And you find however many leaves on the ground as the stressors that you're having. So maybe you find 5 leaves, maybe you find 20 leaves. Look around on the ground and find the fallen leaves that call to you. Pick your favorite colors, pick your favorite shapes, and hold them in a bundle in your hands and feel the softness or the crispness and the lightness of the leaves. Once you have all your leaves collected, walk back toward the riverbank, feeling the comforting feeling of the bunch of leaves in your hands, feeling the room temperature soil refreshing beneath your feet. And if you want the soil to be warm, imagine it feeling warm from the sun. If you want it to be cool, imagine the coolness of the wet earth and walk back toward the riverbank and sit back down on the edge of the river. Maybe you're sitting directly on the riverbank. Maybe you found a nice, comfy fallen log or a stone to sit on. And feel your feet dangling down, touching the earth that forms the riverbank. Feel the leaves in your hand that you've gathered. Now go back to the list of the stressors and the worries and ask the river if the river can help you to take away some of this burden and some of this stress. You hear the river gurgling and bubbling as it rolls over rocks. And you hear it say, yes, it's no problem for the river. It can shift and take away any of these things that you need help carrying or that are too much. So the river is ready to help release some of your tension and your stress. So pick up the first leaf from the bundle in your hands and put on that leaf whatever your biggest stressor is. The leaf gladly holds on to this stressor for you. And now set the leaf down on the rushing water surface. And hear the river saying, yes, I've got this. You can let go. Now watch the leaf slowly make its way down the river, catching and spinning in gentle eddies as it goes around rocks, meandering from the center of the river towards some of the sides of the river. And watch it keep flowing until it's gone from sight and you can't see it anymore. And breathe out a big sigh of relief that the river is able to take some of that stress and effortlessly shift some of that burden off of you. Now pick up the next leaf in your bundle and put the next biggest stressor or worry on that leaf. The fallen leaf carrying the stressor. You hold it in your hand and place it gently again on top of the river. You can ask the river, are you ready? And hear it say yes. And watch that leaf gently be carried away. Watch the stress that you were carrying be carried away from you, supported by the river, and gone further down the river until it's out of your eyesight and it's gone. Now pick up the next leaf in your bundle and pause for a minute and thank the river and feel so grateful that the river is here to help you get rid of the stress. Now put your next stressor on this leaf and set this leaf down on top of the river and let it be taken by the current just like the previous ones. Spinning, floating while the river carries it effortlessly, carries it down until it's gone. And pause for a minute And notice if you feel lighter. Or notice if your heart is beating more steadily. And notice if your breathing feels easier and deeper and more relaxed. Let out a big exhale and go back to your pile of leaves. And put your stressor on the next leaf. And this time, experiment with different ways of letting the river take it. Maybe you blow this leaf out of your hand and let the wind deposit it into the river for you. Your next leaf, maybe you throw this one far from you, way out into the river. And your next leaf and all the rest of your leaves, the smaller stresses, the smaller worries. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, release your attachment to these stresses and these worries. You recognize that these are circumstances that you're stressed about, but that you don't need to carry this stress and tension. So feel free to gently drop the leaves or throw the leaves or toss that bunch of smaller stressors into the river and watch them all gently swirl as they travel away in the current. And the river carries them effortlessly, so easily. The current doesn't stop or struggle at all. And the river takes the stress energy and just sends it away. And further down the river, you look down toward the direction the current is flowing toward, and you notice how bright the sun is glittering down on the river and that end of the river. And you remember that all energy is transmuted. So energy isn't destroyed, but it can be shifted and changed. And you wonder if your stressors that you set on those leaves have become nothing more than rays of sunlight glittering on the river. Now, as you sit on the riverbank, you feel how soft and gentle the soil or the log is underneath you. You realize how much lighter you feel and how much more grounded you feel. And you realize how good it feels in your body to not hold on to things in your mind. As you sit in this nature area amongst the trees and with the river flowing in front of you, you take some deep, clearing breaths. You breathe in the crisp, mossy tree air. And when you breathe out, it's just relaxation. If it feels right, bend down and dip your toes, dip your feet in the river, and say another thank you to the river for helping to transmute and transform your stress energy and carry it away for you. You realize you feel lighter and more at peace. You tune in and you ask yourself, is there anything else, any other worries or concerns that I could get off my chest? You listen to your mind tell you any worries it still holds while you listen to the soothing sounds of the river as it flows. As you listen to the gentle babbling of the water, you let the babbling sound drown out the noise of your worries and concerns. And under the safety of the loud babbling sound of the river, you share any worries or any feelings or anything that feels heavy or uncomfortable, and you share it with the river. And the river is a patient and compassionate listener. And it absorbs all your stress, all your worries, everything you confide in it without judgment. As you sit here in nature connected to the river, envision your body, your mind, and your spirit all rejuvenated. The river's gentle healing touch has gradually washed away any stress that had built up, any hard emotions, anything that felt heavy to carry, leaving you feeling refreshed, revitalized, and in harmony with the natural world. Stay in this peaceful state for another minute and let yourself play with the river and the woods. Maybe you want to go for a swim in the river. Maybe you want to keep dipping your feet in the river. Maybe you trace your fingers in the dirt on the riverbank. Maybe you just appreciate the light reflecting off the water's surface. Or you try to recognize the cloud shapes in the river's reflection. You are in such a peaceful state, and you feel your body and your mind feeling so calm. And you feel so much love for the river for helping you. And you feel so much love coming from the river. And the river tells you it's happy to help whenever you need. When you feel ready, you gently stand up at the side of the riverbank, feeling the soil beneath your feet. You start to walk back into the thickness of the woods, back through to the clearing where you first entered the woods. You pay attention to your breathing. You notice all the colors and the life around you in the woods. And you take a look around and mentally remember everything that you see around you. And you remind yourself that this serene place of healing is always there for you to return to whenever you need to reset your body's stress levels and find inner peace. When you're ready to come back to the present, go ahead and start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And gently blink your eyes open. And you can rub your arms and your legs to help come back into your body. And that was our stress relief meditation. Thank you for joining me in today's meditation. And as always, the goal is to see if you can carry the peace and connection, any insight, any feeling really connected with yourself or nature, any grounded feeling, any of that insight or positive feelings that you gained during the meditation. We want to try to carry that forward into your day and hold that same energy as you go about your daily life. I hope you have a peaceful, great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Surviving to Thriving podcast. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights to support your journey towards better health and happiness. Remember, each health journey is unique. This podcast is not medical advice, and it's essential to consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes. If you'd like to schedule a complimentary consultation with me, I would love to talk with you. Please go to drrachelyeager.com/schedule.